I found these pumpkins with the letters at Dollar General. They were $3.50 each. And I started by taking off all the hangers, the tags, and I'm going to be using the back of these as I'm not going to be using the front with the letter. And to get these stickers off, I'm using my blow dryer. They came off quite easy. The glue part, I used some rubbing alcohol, and it did take the glue off with little effort. So once I was done, I started with Wise Owl Clear Primer. It kind of goes on milky, and I'm using a foam brush. And once it dries, it does dry completely clear. And I did this with all 4 pumpkins. Once dry, I'm starting with Mandarina. And I'm using my S30 Klingon brush. And then I'm taking some brown and creating these pumpkin lines and then going around the frame of the pumpkin. My Mandarina is still wet. And I'm creating this jagged cap, I want to say, going on the bottom part of the stem. And I'm painting the stem with the chocolate. Then I'm going in with a little bit of Snow Owl by Wise Owl and creating lines in between the chocolate. And then I'm framing out the stem area with the Snow Owl. My next pumpkin, I'm using Goldenrod. And I'm going to be doing the same concept with each pumpkin, where I'll be taking the chocolate and creating the pumpkin lines, going around the edge and creating the stem area. And again, the goldenrod is still wet. And then I'm going in with Snow Owl by Wise Owl. This is just giving me some dimension and interest. And then I'm going to outline the stem area with the Snow Owl. And then allow that to dry. Now this pumpkin is going to be Snow Owl, covering the entire pumpkin. And again, I'm creating the pumpkin lines with the chocolate, going around the outside edge of the pumpkin. And then this time I did do some of the lines with the chocolate that I was doing in the Snow Owl on the other pumpkins, as this is already white, and I'm outlining my stem area with the chocolate. Now this one is Higgins Lake, and I'm repeating the same thing as I did on the other pumpkins. And once all these dried, I then found these letters at Walmart. And it's going to spell fall. And I'm painting them all in black. All paint products and brushes can be found at chalkitupfancy.com. Once all my letters were painted and completely dry, I took sandpaper and went over each piece and gave a quick sanding. This just really smooths out your paint. And then I dusted all the sanding off of each piece. And now I'm taking some Wise Owl varnish in matte finish and a foam brush. And I'm giving each letter and each pumpkin a covering. Now, I found this shelf. It's in the section over by the metal shelving. I grabbed this at Lowe's, and it was about $8. Now, this does have veneer on it, so I decided to cover the entire thing with Wise Owl varnish. And once that dried, I'm going to take each of my pumpkins and using Elmer's glue and a little bit of hot glue, and I'm going to start layering them down the board. Once the first one was at the top, because I'm going to have to overlap all the stems, I laid them down and I just marked the stem area where I wanted to show where I needed to lay each one, just so I'm sure they're nice and even. And I marked them with just some painter's tape. And again, I'm using Elmer's glue and some hot glue. And my tape is just guiding me where I want to lay them down so that they all look pretty much even. Then I'm taking my letters and placing a letter on each pumpkin. And I'm first starting by laying them all out and again using painter's tape to guide where I need to place the letter back down once I lift it and put some glue on there. And again, I'm using Elmer's glue and some hot glue. The hot glue just helps hold the letter in place while the Elmer's glue is drying. Thank you so much for watching. You can now see us on YouTube, and you also can find our videos at our webpage, chalkitupfancy.com, paint products and paint and brushes, chalkitupfancy.com.